Now we will discuss control structures. First of all, what is control structures? Control structures or the control flow statements, they allow you to regulate the flow of program's execution and are useful for decision making and repeated execution of particular statements. See, we run programs line by line in sequence, but the control flow statements or say control structures allow you to control the execution of the statements in any sequence. See, on that is on the basis of condition, you can jump to any statement. You can jump to any statement and can repeat these statements number of times. Say for example, after first statement, you can jump to fourth statement. You need not to follow any sequence. And the fourth statement can be repeated so many times depending upon the condition. So these are the structures or the statements which controls the execution sequence of the statements. Now there are two type of control structures: conditional statement and looping statement. Conditional statement and looping statement. Conditional statement is also known as branching. Now under conditional statements we have if statement, if else statement, nested if, select case. And in looping statements, we have while loop, do loop, and for loop. For all these are for the execution of the statements in any sequence depending upon the conditions and can be repeated. Execution can be repeated number of times. So let's discuss. Firstly, we will discuss simple if. Now, conditional statements in our daily life, we do many things which depend upon the some kind of conditions. For example, if I study, I'll pass exams. If he's hungry, he will eat. And these type of conditions, depending upon the condition, action will be taken place. So, in programming languages also, we can perform different sets of action depending upon the conditions. Same we have discussed before also, types of conditional statements: if else, nested if, select case. Now come to the if statement. If statement is the simplest conditional statement. In this statement, statements are executed on the basis of a condition. When the condition is true, it will execute the statement, and when false, it will not execute any statement. Condition is true, statements will get executed, right? But it will not execute if the condition is not true. So there is only one condition and the set of statements. Syntax: if condition or expression, then statements to be executed if the condition is true, and end if. If is followed by, if is always end by end if. These are the reserved words which are already been defined in the VB.NET language. And it means that the condition, these statements will be executed if it evaluates the expression. Otherwise, nothing will happen, no conditions, right? Then what is the basic flow or basic working of this if condition? Condition, this is a flowchart for the if working. Condition, if true, then the statements will execute, and if it is not true, nothing will happen, means it will false, it will come to the exit point. No statements will get executed. Now let's discuss the example of the if statement or if condition. See, dim x as integer. This is just a code to explain you how you will write the code in VB.NET. Dim x as integer. We have already discussed before how to declare a variable. Dim is a reserved word to declare a variable. Then x is a variable name and which we have declared it as a integer data type. Now x is assigned a value of 20. If x is greater than equal to 10, then we will do these statements. Then these statement will get executed and close. And if is always closed by end if. In this case, x is assigned value of 20. Yes, x is greater than equal to 20. Our condition is true. So we will execute this statement, that is console.writeln. It will print the value number greater than, it will give this message number greater than 10, which is within the codes. So it will print the message as it is. So this is how you can write the code for if statement. Next is if-else statement. If-else statement is another useful statement. It executes statements if the condition is true and another statements if the condition is false. See, in the previously we have discussed only one set of statements will get executed if the condition is true. There was no else part. But here, if condition or Boolean expression, then statements to get executed if the Boolean expression is true. Else if the condition is not true, then the other set of statements after the else part will get executed. That is statements to execute if the Boolean expression is false. So there are two sets of statements to get executed. Either statements first set of statement or the other set of statement, depending upon the condition to get evaluated as true or false. Let's discuss the example of this. This is the flowchart. Again, this is the flowchart or a working of if-else condition. If condition is true, then this if statement will get executed, this statements. And if the condition is false, then these statements will get executed, and both are moving towards ending, towards end. So either this or this. Only one set of statements will get executed. Let's discuss the example. Dim x as same example, previous example, dim x as integer 20. We have assigned a variable, we have declared a variable and assigned the value 20. If x is greater than equal to 10, yes, true, 20 is greater than equal to 10, then x is greater than or equal to 10. The message will get, if I declare x as 5, x is greater than equal to 10, no, then this part will not get executed, rather else, false condition, in false condition case, else part will get executed, that is x is less than or equal to 10 will get displayed. Fine. Next, nested if else. What is nested if else? We can write an entire if else construct within either the body of the if statement or the body of an else statement. This is called nesting of ifs. It means if within the ifs. You can write if, then inside it also if, else you can write, see, I explain you the syntax. If condition, true, then again if condition, if within the if, then statements will get executed. If this condition is true and the if within the if, the next if is false, then the else part of this if will get executed, right? If this condition is true, if this condition is false, the first condition is false, then this whole block will not get executed, rather else part will get activated. If false, then else, this part will get executed. And within this else part, we have again if condition, then statements, else. If condition is true, this statement will executed. If a condition is false, else part will get executed, and if. So this is how this is if within if, nested ifs. So let's take the first look into the flowchart, how it works actually. Condition, if condition is true, then statements will get executed. If false, then it will come to an end. Now, if condition is true, this statement, again, within the statement, there is one more condition, nested if. Again, if this condition is true, this statement will get executed. If this condition is not true, then we will come to this false part and these statements get executed and will end the program. Or these statements will end. Ultimately, this will end in this way, or false will end in this way. And after ending either true or false, we will come to the next, that is these statements. Then end again, right? Let's make it more easier with the help of an example. So deem x as integer is equal to 5. We are taking a variable x and assigning it a value 5, and y as integer again and assigning it a value 20. Now let's see what the program is doing. If x is greater than y, x5 is greater than 20, then if true, then x is greater than equal to 10, then x value greater than or equal to 10. Then this statement will get executed. If this is true, this is false, then else part will get executed and end if. If this is not true, in this case it is really not true, as x is 5 and y is 20. So 5 is greater than 20. No. In false case, these statements will not get executed. We will directly jump to else part because this statement is not true. In else part, let's check it out. If y is less than equal to 20, y 20, y is 20, it is equal to 20. So it is true. This will get executed. Otherwise, if it would have not been true, then the else part would be activated. So this way, and if this if and if, then every if will get ended with end if. And at last, console press enter to exit and console.read line. So this is how if within if works. If within this if. It means you can write if within if, and you can also write in else part also. If within if. So the next is select case. The next case is select case. Another form of selection statement is select case statement, which executes a set of statements depending upon the value of a given parameter. It enables a program to select among several alternatives. It works like this. The value of an expression is successively tested against a list of constants. When a match is found, the statement sequence associated with that match is executed. Otherwise, the statements under case else gets executed. Let me explain this with you with the flowchart and then with the example. It will be more clearer. See, this is the expression which I have to get evaluated first. Then if this expression unmatched in case 1, if it is unmatched, we will jump to case 2. Again, the expression is not matching. We will jump to next case. We will keep on jumping. But if it matches in case 1, then statement 1 will get executed. Similarly, if it does not match with case 1, we will jump to case 2. And if case 2 matches with the expression or evaluates it to be true, then this statement, case 2 statements will get executed. And if no statement gets matched, then the default statement will automatically get evaluated. Let's explain or make it more easier with an example. See, this is a syntax. Select case expression, case value 1 statement, case value 2 statement, case value 3 statement, and so on. And if no case is evaluated, then case else statements will get evaluated, statements to execute. Now let's take the example. Dim x says integer is equal to 20. So what we are giving value to our variable, that is 20. Now select case x. Means we are considering the value of x. We are choosing x and considering its value. So its value, select case 20. X is equal to 20. Now, what are the cases? Let's discuss all the cases. Case 10. Case 10. Console.write x value is 10. No, this is false because case is 20 because we have initialized the value of x as 20. So here the variable x is 20. Case 10 will not activate. Case 15 is also not true. Case 20. Yes, we got the case 20. Case 20 matches with the case to be searched for. So what will be the output? Console.writeLN means what to be print? X value is 20. Otherwise case else would have been activated. So this way this case else gets work. Next we will discuss about loops in VB.NET. So these all are the conditional statements which we have discussed before. Now we jump to looping statements and looping statements are for repetitions, for repeat execution of the statements. So first of all, what are loops in VB.NET? Loops is essential technique when writing a code. It is very essential. It is basically the ability to repeat a block of code X times. Suppose you want to repeat something 10 times. In spite of writing it again and again 10 times, it is better to write the code once and use the loop so that it automatically gets evaluated 10 times. A loop is a way to execute a piece of code repeatedly. You don't need to write again and again. Just write once and repeat it again and again as much you want. So let's discuss all the loops one by one. First of all, we have while loop. Now a while loop will check a condition and then continues to execute a block of code as long as the condition evaluates to a Boolean value true or false. It is called pre-tested loop. It means that it checks the condition. First of all, we have to put a condition with the while loop. Then if the condition is true, it will execute the block of code as long as the condition is true or false, whatever is the condition. Why it is called pre-tested loop? Because we write condition first and then executes the statement. It depends. If the condition is true, only then, or false, whatever, only then the statements will get executed. See the syntax? While Boolean expression or condition, while any condition, a is less than 10 or age is less than equal to 18, you can say statements to execute. If condition is true, these statements will get executed. Then we will increment the value and end while. As long as the condition is true, these statements will get executed. Then again, suppose I is less than, while I is less than, we'll explain later in the example. Let me explain later in the example. So these are the syntax. While condition, statements, increments and end while. Now let's discuss it with the flowchart as well as with the example. It will be more easier. Condition, while condition, true statements, right? If it is true and still condition is there, it is within the range of the condition, statement will go back to the condition. It will again check. If I suppose we are increment, you have to display 10 natural numbers. If I is 1, yes, so I is less than equal to 10. I is less true, statement get executed. Again I2, I will get incremented by 2. Yes, 2 is again less than equal to 10. The statement will get executed and so on. Repeatedly it will execute the statement until the condition is true. And in case it is false, it will go to the end, right? Then let's make it more easier with the example. Dim I is integer. Again, I is considered as an integer variable with the initial value 1. While I is less than equal to 4, write value of I is equal to I. So first of all, it will check the condition. First, the first value of I is 1. 1 is less than equal to 4, true. Then the console.writeLN value means it will print the value of I 1. Then we will increment the value of I plus equal to 1. It will increment I by, firstly I is 1. Now it will get incremented by 1 again. It will become 2. Again it will not go to end while, rather it will go back to condition and check the condition. 2. And now I is 2. 2 is less than equal to 4. True. Again the value of I becomes 2. So the value is 1 and 2. Next, again I will get incremented. While I is less than equal to, yes, 3. 3 is less than equal to 4. Again I will get print, that is 3 will get printed. Again I will get increment. Now 3 to 4. Now I becomes 4. Now 4 is less than equal to 4. Yes, it is not less than, but it is equal. So condition is true. It will again print the value of I, that is 4. So all the values 1, 2, 3, 4 will get print. Now I will get incremented. Again it will check the condition. I becomes 5. 5 is less than equal to 4. No, false. It will not go inside and not print these, execute these statements. It will simply come out of the loop. This is loop 1, 2, 3, 4. But as soon as it becomes 5, it will come out of the loop, that is end while. And the next statement will get executed, that is press enter key to exit. Anything you can write and read line. This is to stop the cursor for some time. So this is how the while loop works. That is, first check the condition and then executes the statements. Next loop is do while loop. Now a do while loop is similar to the while loop. It is similar to the while loop except that it checks its condition at the end of the loop. This means that do loop is guaranteed to execute at least once, and it is called post-tested loop. Now, when it is similar to while loop, then what is the difference? See, do loop is guaranteed to execute at least once. Means this is the syntax of do loop. Do statements, after statements increment the value, and loop while condition. It means it will first execute the statement for the first time, and then check this while condition. It will execute the statements at least once and then check the condition. Next time, if the condition is true, it will go into the loop. It will execute these statements again. But if it is not true, it will come out of this loop. But first time, it will execute the statement without checking the condition. That is why it is called post-tested loop. That is, after execution, it will check the for the first time only. After execution, it will check the condition. Now let's discuss its flow chart. Statements. First of all, we'll start with the statements. Then it will check the condition. If the condition is false, it will come out of the loop. But if the condition is true, it will again execute those statements. But if for the first time also it is false, then these statements will get executed, and after that it will come out of the loop. So let's again discuss it with the example to make it easier. I as integer 1, then we are declaring I with the value 1. Value of I is again 1. I incremented. Same example which we have discussed previously with the help of while. Now the condition. Loop. Do loop. Do loop is, it start with do and end with loop, and while condition. While I is less than equal to 4. Yes, true. 1. First of all, the value of I is 1. Then I gets incremented. I2. 2 is less than equal to 4. Yes. It will go back to the loop. Again, I becomes 3 and I become 4. And till the condition becomes false, it will keep on printing the value, keep on executing the statements within the loop. And then it will come out when it becomes false. The next loop is for next loop. A for next loop works like a while loop, except that the syntax of the for loop includes initialization and the condition modification. So basically all the loops are more or less the same. You can use any loop, any one of the loop depending upon your requirement or your choice, but it depends which loop is comfortable in which format. Now, a for loop is similar to it works like a while, but the syntax is different. For loops are appropriate when you exactly how many times you want to perform the statement within the loop. So it depends, as I've told you, it depends which type of loop to be used in your program depending upon the situation. Suppose you know the particular times. Yes, I have to repeat this loop 10 times. So you can go for loop. But if you does not know the number of times, so you can either go for while or do while, depends. So for loops are appropriate when you know exactly how many times. Now let's discuss the syntax for variable as data type, whatever data type as integer. Begin to last, this is a range when you know how many times the loop is going to execute. Suppose 1 to 10 times statement to be executed and next. For loop, initialization, condition is true, then statements, increments, and then again if the condition is true, it will keep on executing the statements within the loop, and as soon as the condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop. Now let's take the example. Dim a as integer, system dot console write line display. So what it is, just showing display message. Then again table of 2. Again this statement, display table of 2. For a is equal to 1, 2, 2. See, this is the syntax of for loop. For, it is a reserved word. A is the name of the variable, equal to which, see, just a minute. Begin to last. This is the range. So begin, variable should begin with 1 to last 10. 1 to 10 times. Console write line. This is how we write the object method. This is object method write line. Write line a into 2. Now what is the value of a? 1. Initially a will start with 1. This will write 1 into 2. 1 2s are 2. So it will print 2 here. And next. Again it will again jump to the for condition. What is a? It is also called a self-incremental loop. There is no need to increment this a variable as we have incremented in while and do while, because it is a self-incremental loop. So when we go to next will jump to for again. Again it will check the value of a. Now a will become from 1 to 2. Now a will become 2 to 10 times. So 2 to again a will become 2. 2 into 2 to 4. So the table of 2 is 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So it will give the value 4. Again next a will get self incremented. It will become 3. Then it will write 3 into 2s are 6. So this way it will go to, then when a will become 10, because the loop has to get repeated for 10 times, 1 to 10. Then it becomes a is equal to 10 into 2. 10 twos are 20. So this way it will display the table of 2 by writing 1 to 10. So this is how the for loop works. Thank you.